Hi guys, so welcome back sa ating YouTube channel. So in this video, pag-uusapan naman natin yung Maxima and Minima. So ano naman yung application ng Maxima and Minima sa ating multivariate calculus o sa ating calculus 3. So again, para lang paalala ko lang sa inyo, si probability is something bivariate. Okay, so multivariate siya minsan. So bivariate, multivariate. So yun ay term para sa random variable. So dito naman is multivariate calculus siya. So meaning fix tayo sa mga 3D dimensional. Okay, so let f of x, y be a real valued function. So ito medyo mahaba-haba ang tinype si sir. So let a, b be a point in the domain of f. And we say that f has a local maximum at a, b if f of x, y less than or equal to f of a, b. For all x and y inside some disk of positive radius centered at a, b. And that is, there is some sufficiently small r greater than 0 such that f of x, y less than or equal to f of a, b for all x of x, y which x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is less than or equal to plus r squared. So something na para siyang nasa disk. So parang ano ba itsura ng isang open disk? So wala kasing itsura ng open disk dito kaya wala akong nailagay eh. Okay, so ang disk hindi lagi siyang bilog. Again, wag mo i-fix na something na lagi siyang bilog. So kaya nga may sufficiently r. So actually may radius r naman tayo na greater than 0. So ganyan. So meaning parang nasa loob lang siya parang nung disk. So imagine mo may disk kang nakikita bilog or something na hindi eksaktong bilog hindi eksaktong circle. So something na para siyang pabilog. So may radius r doon. So di pa rin kasi yung approach ng radius among sa center. Okay, then mangyayari so parang nangyari lang sa kanya is something na ito yung kanyang satisfy equation. So, meron siyang local maximum. Now, likewise, we say that f has a local minimum of a, b if f of x, y is greater than f of a, b for all x, y inside the sum disk of positive radius centered at a, b. Okay, so kung mas mataas naman yung f of x, y sa f of a, b, automatic meron kang local minimum. Pag mas maliit, automatic may local maximum. So, tandaan yung dalawang term na yan. Next is, if f of x, y, so is less than or equal to f of a, b for all x, y in the domain f. Okay, so then f has a global maximum at a, b. Again, global maximum. So, again nga, kumbaga parang ano nga ito eh. Sa something na yung term, so local maximum, local minimum comes from dun sa ating calculus 1, dun sa naituro ko previously. So, sa mga recent video. So, local maximum, local minimum. Pero tawag talaga dito totally is global maximum and sunod is global minimum. Okay, so yan din yung definition. Kumbaga inulit ko lang yan. Okay, so now we have this theorem. So, ano ba goal natin dito? So, kung naalala mo sa function, kaya natin hanapin si critical point, si inflection point. Okay, tapos determine yung mga critical point, na-determine mo yung critical values. So, alam mo kung local maximum, local minimum, true graph, sketch graphing, so curve sketching rather. So, may ganun kasing process. So, hindi lang kasi naturo sa inyo yung curve sketching. So, marami talagang way para mahanap yun. So, first is the first derivative test, second derivative test. So, again, from first derivative test and second derivative test, kaya mong hanapin yung critical point, yung inflection point. Okay, then, kaya mo rin i-determine ko siya ay local maximum and local minimum depending sa kanyang concavity o kung opening upward or downward. Okay, so, dito naman wala tayong tinatawag na inflection point. So, actually, iba yung term ni inflection point dito. So, I don't know na kung ano yung tawag doon, pero hindi ako sure kung ano si saddle point eh. Okay, so kung madaanan natin, i-discuss ko what is a saddle point. Pero, again, ito muna yung pag-uusapan natin. Paano kunin yung mga local maximum saka local minimum? Ito lang naman talaga yung focus natin dito. Okay, so since partial derivative na yung alam natin, so again, sa multivariate calculus, partial derivative talaga yung nag-i-exist usually. So, ayun, sorry, nagulo ko yung aking, nahampas ko na yung aking tripod. Okay, so we have this theorem. So, theorem 2.5.1. So, let f of x, y be a real valued function such that both partial derivative of f with respect sa x of a, b and partial derivative of f with respect sa y of a, b exist. So, again, nag-exist sila. So, hindi sila indeterminate or undefined. Then, a necessary condition for f of x, y to have a local maximum at a, b is that the del, okay, so the gradient of f of a at a, b is just equal to the 0 vector. So, ano ibig sabihin lang ni sir dyan? So, kung yung del of f, so rate ko lang yung del of f is equal lang sa 0 vector. So, note that the del of f is just equal sa partial derivative of f with respect sa x, partial derivative of f with respect sa y is equal to the 0 vector that is 0, 0. So, depending sa ating space. So, since R2 to, so R2 lang yung ganun. So, kung R3, kung may partial derivative of f with respect sa z, 0, 0, 0. So, dapat i-retain mo rin yung ating 0 vector kung saan ako. So, again, by definition of equal coordinates or equal vector, so we have, so this implies two things. So, the partial derivative of f with respect sa x is equal to 0. Next is the partial derivative of f with respect sa y is just equal to 0. Okay, also kung 3-dimensional siya, alam mo na yun. So, partial derivative of f with respect sa z is equal also to 0. Okay, so yan yung sinasabi ng definition na yan. Ito yung first thing or yung first step na gagawin talaga natin totally. Okay, so hahanapin mo yung partial derivative niya. So, equate mo muna yung partial derivative niya. Yung partial derivative of f with respect sa x sa 0 and partial derivative of f with respect sa y is equal to 0. Then mag-substitute tayo ng mga specific value. So, ayan yung mga una. So, ito yung unang way para ma-determine natin si critical point. So, kung dati ang ginagawa natin para makuha yung critical point is kukunin natin yung first derivative tapos i-equate sa 0. Ito naman yung gagawin natin dito. Kunin mo yung partial derivative o yung first order partial derivative, equate mo sa 0. Okay, or sa 0 vector. Okay, so now, let's have theorem 2.5.2. So, let f of x, y be a smooth real-valued function. So, again, ito yung mga term na smooth real-valued function. So, something na pag sa advanced calculus, may kita mo na, ano ba yung smooth real-valued function? Ano ba yung intermediate value function? Intermediate theorem. So, something na ganyan. Lahat yun madidiscuss doon. Okay, so, dito muna is something, focus lang tayo sa mga ganyan. Since wala naman talaga siyang totally illustration. Okay, so now, theorem 2.5.2, so let f of x, y be a smooth real-valued function with the critical points at a, b. So, define, so, again, ito yung gagawin natin. Let f of x, y be a smooth real-valued function with critical points at a, b. So, again, ito yung mga critical function. So, yung critical points para makuha, substitute mo yung a, b doon. So, kunyari, a, b, z, so, sa 3-dimensional, substitute mo rin din siya doon. So, tawag doon critical points. Okay? So, again, critical points tawag doon. Critical function pa lang yung mga yan. Okay, critical points pag a, b na yung ginagamit. Now, define. So, para mahanap natin yung value na d, so meron tayong tinatawag na d. So, note, hindi siya directional derivative. This is just a formula. So, galing sa theorem. So, hindi ko alam tawag sa theorem na to, no? Okay, so d is equal to the second partial derivative of f with respect sa x squared of a, b. So, anong gagawin dito sa term na to? Ang gagawin mo is, siyempre, yung function f, kukunin ko yung second order partial derivative with respect sa x. Kukunin ko rin yung second order partial derivative niya with respect sa y. Then substitute ko yung a, b latin. Okay, ganun yung gagawin mo. So, substitute mo yung a, b latin doon. Tapos yun na yung value. Minus yung ating mixed partial derivative. So, the mixed partial derivative is partial derivative of f with respect sa y and with respect sa x of a, b. So, una, with respect muna sa x, then sunod with respect sa y, then square ko. Okay, so again, yun yung d. Ngayon, dun nakadepende yung d. So, yung sa lalabas na value ng d natin is if d is greater than 0. So, una, if d is greater than 0 and the partial derivative of f with respect sa x of a, b is greater than 0, then f has a local minimum at a, b. So, yan yung unang condition. Okay, if d is greater than 0, okay, and siya naman, yung second partial derivative niya, o yung second partial derivative of f at x is less than 0, then f has a local maximum at a, b. So, yan yung dalawa. Now, if d is less than 0, then f has neither a local minimum nor a local maximum at a, b. So, wala siyang local minimum or local maximum. Okay, so kung d is less than 0, automatic wala siyang local maximum, local minimum. So, pwede naman talaga yun. Lastly, if d is equal to 0, then the test fails. So, sir, may iba tayong test dito. So, actually, wala naman sinabing test na iba dito kung paano kukunin. So, I guess parang meron siya sa numerical methods na eh. So, nasa numerical analysis na yung way para ma-test natin yan. So, I think, I don't know yung mga term, no? Pero alam ko yung finite element method siya tayong mga ginagawa dito. Okay, so now, let's have an example. So, again, ano yung unang natin gagawin? Hanapin mo yung critical function. From the critical function, derive tayo ng mga equation something. Okay? So, let's start with this example. Tapos, derive natin d. Solve natin yung d actually. Yan yung pinaka-highlight. So, kung ano yung value ng d, determine natin doon. So, yan yung mga function na hanapin natin. Okay, so, ano unang gagawin natin? So, ito yung medyo matikas dito. Ito yung medyo kakaiba dito. Wala tayong given na a, b. So, ito yung lagi kong igagawin sa inyo. Walang given na a, b. So, paano yun? Doon tayo gagawa ng way para hanapin yung a, b. So, hanapin natin yung a, b using yung ating function o yung ating critical function. Hanapin yung a, b doon. o yung x comma y na lalabas natin. Okay, then saka natin sa substitute sa second order derivative, then sa first order derivative, then sa mixed partial derivative. Okay, so now let's proceed para dito. Okay, so now ito yung importante ha. Again, ito yung importante sa to. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-importanteng formula. Okay, so find all local maxima and minima of f of x comma y is equal to x squared plus xy plus y squared minus 3x. So again, by definition of by theorem 2.1 2.5.1, so we all know that the del of f. So una hanapin natin yung critical points. Ito yung solution. Okay, so for critical points, we all know that the del of f is equal to sa 0 vector. Okay, and we all know that the del of f is just equal sa partial derivative with respect sa x nung function natin, which is x squared plus xy plus y squared minus 3x. Then this is comma partial derivative with respect sa y nung x squared plus xy plus y squared minus 3x, okay, is equal to 0, 0. Okay, so we all know we have two partial derivative. Okay, so una is partial derivative of f with respect sa x. So ito yung una. So the partial derivative, so first is the partial derivative with respect sa x nung x squared plus xy plus y squared minus 3x is equal to 0. So solve natin literally. So this is just 2x plus y minus 3 is equal to 0. So yan yung ating equation number 1. So yan yung una natin nakuha. So next is the partial derivative with respect sa y ng x squared plus xy plus y squared minus 3x is also equal to 0. So this is just equal sa x plus 2y is equal to 0. Okay, so we have two equation na form. Okay, so again, may dalawa tayo na form na equation. So this is equation number 1, then equation number 2. So from there, pwede tayo mag-derive. So from equation 2, we have x is equal to negative 2y. So again, from equation 2, we have x minus 2y. So meaning, substitute natin x minus 2y sa equation 1. So sa equation 1, we have yung x daw is negative 2y plus y is equal to negative 3 is equal to 0. So again, sinubstitute ko lang siya dun. So ito yung value na x. So this is just negative 4y plus y is equal to negative 3. Oh sorry, minus to. So minus lang pala yan. Naka-negative. So minus is equal to 3. So this is just negative 3y is equal to 3, or simply y is equal to negative 1. Okay, so again, may y tayo is equal to negative 1. Then substitute lang natin dito. So this is just equal sa x is equal to negative 2 times negative 1. This is just equal sa x is equal to 2. So now, we have the points. So we already know what is the point. So the point a comma b natin, ay yung x comma y natin dito. Yung x comma y natin is just 2 comma negative 1. Okay, so again, 2 comma negative 1. So now, ready na tayong hanapin yung d. Pero anong kailangan kay d? Actually, tatlong bagay. Una, the second partial derivative or the second order partial derivative of f with respect sa x and with respect sa y, and the mixed partial partial derivative rather. Okay, so yun yung gagawin. So gagawin mo is siyempre, kunin mo muna yung partial derivative niya continuously with respect sa x, tapos saka mo substitute to. So una, siyempre dahil nahanap ko na to, so again, nahanap ko na to, ito na yung given. So doon na tayo sa pangalawa, sa second partial order derivative. So para sa second partial order derivative, so the second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x squared. Okay, so this is just equal sa partial derivative with respect sa x nung anong function yun? So this is just 2x plus y minus 3. So tandaan, hindi mo sasama yung 0. Okay, kasi ito ay kaya siya nagkaroon ng 0 dahil dito dahil sa definition ng critical points. Pero hindi mo sasama yung 0 kasi ito lang naman yung kinukuha natin. Again, the partial derivative niya is 2x plus y minus 3. So which is there. Okay, so this is just equal sa this is just x. So this is just 2 na lang. Tama. So that is just 2. So meaning at substitute natin at 2 comma negative 1. So wala namang epekto. So this is just equal lang sa 2. So wala ka naman kasing mapapalitan actually. Okay, next is the second partial order derivative of f with respect sa y squared. So this is just partial derivative with respect sa y ng copy natin to. Ito x plus 2y naman sa kabila. This is x plus 2y. So ito yung kagandahan dito. Pattern na sa x plus 2y. So this is just equal sa 2. So at 2 comma negative 1, this is just equal sa 2. Okay. Next is the yung mixed partial derivative kasi kailangan natin yun eh. So with respect sa x, then with respect sa y. So since given na with respect sa x, so ang kailangan na lang natin is ito. So the second partial order derivative with respect sa y with respect sa x, this is just equal sa first sa partial derivative with respect sa y nung partial derivative of f with respect sa x. So ano yun? Ito yun, 2x plus y minus 3. So ito lagi yung gagawin. So this is 2x plus y minus 3. So this is just equal sa partial derivative with respect sa y, this is just equal sa 1. Okay, then substitute ko at 2 comma negative 1, this is just equal sa 1. Okay, so now, letter na tayo hanapin yung letter D. So D is just the formula itself. So D is just equal sa una, 2. Kasi yun, partial derivative, second order partial derivative of f of a comma b times second partial order derivative of f a comma b. So multiply lang dito. No, so this is just 2, multiply lang dito. This is just 2 times 2 minus 1 square, which is equal sa 3. So note that this is greater than 0. So note, ang lumabas sa D natin is greater than 0. Okay, next is observe natin yung yung second partial order derivative nito. So importante ito. So note na yung lumabas dito is greater than 2. So this is just greater than also sa 0. So tanda mo ha, ang una nakita natin, since D is greater than 0, D is 3, so greater than 0 siya. So alam ko na between A and B siya. Now check mo na yung second partial order derivative ng x of f at x. So ito yun. So since greater than 0 siya, so ano masasabi mo? Then f has a local minimum at 2 comma negative 1. Okay, so lagay ko lang thus 2 comma negative 1 is a local minimum. Okay, actually yung nahanap ko na value is a local minimum. Okay, so therefore ito siya. So yung 2 comma negative 1 na nahanap natin kanina is a local minimum kasi ayun yung nangyari. So greater than 0 yung D, which is 3. Then greater than 0 yung second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x. Therefore, siya ay local minimum. Okay? So example number 2, entry tayo. Okay, so tuloy-tuloy lang natin. Yun, so hoping na magkasya to dito ha. Kasi medyo nalitan ko yung ating sulat. Okay, so now, find all the local maxima and minima. So again there are cases na pwedeng dalawa yung local maximum and minima natin. Okay, so pag dalawa yung points rather na na-compute mo, anong gagawin mo? Syempre, dalawang test din. Meron kang D para doon, meron kang D para sa isang point. So dalawa yung point na itetest natin para doon. So hoping na tandaan. So again, hoping na magkaroon din tayo na ganung given. Actually, parang wala. So chine-check ko yung given natin eh. So I'm just checking. So wala naman lumabas na dalawa yung value. Actually, lahat almost isa lagi. Okay, so check natin to. So find all the local maxima and minima of f of x comma y is equal to xy minus x cubed minus y squared. Okay, so tama naman yung atin na solve. Okay, so ano yun ang gagawin? Siyempre, compute for the del of f which is equal to 0. So the del of f is equal to the 0 vector. So this is just equal sa partial derivative with respect sa x nung xy minus x cubed minus y squared, comma, partial derivative with respect sa y ng xy minus x cubed minus y squared, which is equal sa 0 vector, which is 0, 0. So note, may dalawa tayong makukuha dyan. No? So the first is partial derivative with respect sa x nung xy minus x cubed minus y squared, which is equal sa 0. So, ano lalabas dito? This is just equal sa partial derivative. This is just y minus 3x squared is equal to 0. Yan yung para sa una. So, next is the partial derivative with respect sa y ng xy minus x cubed minus y squared is equal to 0. So, this is just x minus 2y is equal to 0. So, note na ito, ganun ulit kadali. Pwedeng dito na tayo mag-transpose. So, this is equation 1. This is equation 2. So, note that this is just x is equal to 2y. So, pwede natin gamitin yan dito. So, substitute na lang natin yan. So, this is just y is equal y minus 3 times 2y square is equal to 0. Okay, so this is just 2y squared. Okay, so this is just transpose ko yung y. So this is just y minus 3 times 4y squared is equal to 0. So obviously, this is just equal sa ano magiging result ng value na ito. Okay, so dapat dalawa yung value na lalabas eh. Okay, so yun nga, dalawa yung value pala dito. Okay, so this is just equal sa y minus 12y squared is equal to 0. So, pag pinactor out ko yan, this is just continuation na. So, this is just y times 1 minus 12y is equal to 0. So, una, y sub 1 is equal to 0. Pangalawa, y sub 2 is equal to negative 1. So, this is 1 over 12. Okay, so dalawa yan. Y sub 2, y sub 1. Okay, so tamang-tama, lumabas dalawang value. So, yun, baliktad ako. Kung saan pa yung weekly yung solution, dito ko pa nalagay. So, next is for x sub 1, that is equal sa 2y sub 1. So, x sub 1 is just equal sa 2 times 0. So, this x sub 1 is just equal sa 0. Okay, so next is for x sub 2, this is just 2y sub 2. So, x sub 2 is just equal sa 2 times 1 over 12. Or x sub 2 is just equal sa 1 over 6. So, may dalawa tayong point actually. Tama. So, again, dalawa yung point natin. So, unang point is, so, point P1. So, lagay ko ng P1, 0, 0. Tapos, P2 is 1 over 6, 1 over 12. So, dalawa yung i-observe natin na value. So, dalawang value ng D yung hahanapin natin. So, again, duktong ko na lang dito. Tupiin ko na lang. Ganyan na lang. Para magkasya. Okay, so, dito ko na lalagay lahat ng partial derivative, no? So, second partial derivative, tapos saka natin substitute na lang dito. Okay, so, for the second partial derivative niya with respect, so, second partial derivative of f with respect sa x. So, yun yung kunin natin kunin. So, second partial derivative of f with respect sa x squared. So, this is just partial derivative with respect sa x nung na-compute natin, which is y minus 3x squared. Okay, so this is just equal sa negative 6x. Again, so hindi mo na mag-substitute dyan. So, next is the second partial derivative of f with respect sa y squared. So, this is just partial derivative with respect sa y of x minus 2y. So, this is just equal sa negative 2. Okay, so kung tama pa ako ng sinusolve. So, ito yan. Okay, next is partial derivative. So, mixed partial derivative na, no? Mixed partial derivative ng partial of y, then partial of x. So, this is just partial with respect sa y ng function ng x. This is just y minus 3x squared. So, with respect sa y, this is just equal sa 1. Okay, so may tatlo tayong value. Okay, so since dalawa yung point natin, dalawa din yung d natin. Dalawang d1, dalawang point na 1. So, una is for d1. Okay, so for solution or for convenience, so for point P1, 0, 0. So, we need to obtain for d sub 1. Okay, so for d sub 1, this is just equal sa second partial order derivative. Second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x squared of 0, 0. Yan na, 0, 0 multiplied by second partial order derivative of f with respect sa y squared ng 0, 0 minus, this is second partial order derivative of f or the mixed partial order derivative of x with respect sa y and with respect sa x nung 0, 0 raised sa 2. Again, so again, raised sa 2 yan. So now, substitute na lang natin yung mga value. So for 0, 0, that's negative 6 times 0. So this is just equals a negative 6 times 0. Okay, then multiplied by, so ito yung una, no? Okay, multiplied by, this is just negative 2. Pag sinubstitute natin 0, 0 doon, this is just negative 2. So this is just simply negative 2. Minus, this is just 1. So this is just 1 square. Okay, so therefore, what is the value of this? So this is negative 6 times 0 is 0, times negative 2 is 0. Minus 1 square. So this is negative 1. So note that this is less than 0. So ano sabi ng rule pag less than 0? So pag less than 0 siya, f as neither local maximum. So yung 0, 0, so thus, lagay ko lang, no? The 0, 0 is neither local maxima or minima. Okay, so para sa kanya. So check ko lang din. Okay, so yun ang tawag sa kanya actually. So pag ang tawag sa kanya, so dagdag ko na dito, no? If D is less than 0, tas hindi natin alam ko siya ay local minimum or local maximum, ang tawag sa kanya is saddle point. Okay, so tandaan yan. So therefore, what is this? Again, 0, 0 is a saddle point. So 0, 0 is a saddle point. So ito yung pinakasagot natin. Okay, now for point 1 over 6, 112. So this is 4.2 na 1 over 6, 1 over 12. Okay, so this is d sub 2. So solve natin for d sub 2. Okay, so obvious naman ulit, no? Compute na lang natin. This is just equal sa second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x squared. Then lagay ko yung 1 over 6, 1 over 12. So again, gato nilalagay ko para masanay ka na rin. Again, so mas suggested ko or highly recommended ko yung ganitong solution. So multiplied by second partial order derivative of f with respect sa y squared ng 1 over 6, 1 over 12. Then minus second partial order derivative or the mixed partial order derivative ng f with respect sa y then with respect sa x ng 1 over 6, 1 over 12. Then raised sa 2. Okay, so dito syempre ang substitute lang natin since negative 6x, yung x lang yung mapapalitan. So this is just equal sa negative 6 times 1 over 6 times negative 2. Kasi negative 2 pagdating dito. Okay, so minus 1 square. So this is minus 1 square. So this is just equal sa negative 1 multiplied by negative 2 minus 1. So which is this is just equal sa 2 minus 1 which is equal sa 1 which is greater than 0. Again, that is greater than 0. So note na ano yung compute natin? The second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x squared ng 1 over 6, 1 over 12 is equal sa negative 1. Okay, which is less than 0. Again, kinumpit ko kasi to. So kailangan kasi yun. Kasi napasok siya dito sa unang condition. So pag greater than 0 siya, punta ka dun sa second order partial derivative of f with respect sa x. So pag less than 0 siya, automatic siya ay local maximum. So therefore, so since greater than 0 si d, tas less than 0 si ating sa second partial order derivative of f with respect sa x. So therefore, thus, so lagay ko lang, no, thus, 1 over 6, 1 over 12 is a local maximum. Okay. Pagod. Dami niya. Okay. So, ayun, no. Nilipat ko lang. So, okay magala. In-adjust ko yata sa inyo yan. So, kung hindi ko in-adjust kayo, hindi mag-adjust, ha. Okay, now, so find all the local maximum and minimum of f of x comma y. That is x squared plus y squared is equal to e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So, ayun, medyo kakaiba to, no? So, paano ba natin siya hanapin actually? So, ito yung medyo kakaiba. So, check na lang natin. Okay, so check na lang natin kung ano yung magiging sagot dito. Okay, so paano yung gagawin? So again, kunin natin yung ating gradient. So green na yung gamitin ko. So for gradient is equal to 0 vector. So that is simply the partial derivative with respect sa x ng, copy ko lang, so this is just x squared plus y squared multiplied by e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, comma, partial derivative with respect sa y ng x squared plus y squared, then e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So, again, hinuhulaan ko lang itong mga given natin. Okay, this is just equal sa 0 vector, which is 0, 0. Okay, so check natin ano yung mga lalabas. So, una is the partial derivative with respect sa x nung x squared plus y squared, then e raised to negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. Okay, so para dyan, obviously, product rule. Tama? So, kasi pares may x squared pares yan. So, una ito yung ano. So, copy to, derivative nun. Okay, so una is copy yung x squared. So, y squared. Then, derivative nito, this is just, syempre, dahil x squared yung din-differentiate natin, so this is just negative 2x. So, this is just negative 2x, tas copy e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So, hoping nyo na-gets mo yung idea about it. Then, plus e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Then, derivative naman na x squared plus y squared, this is just 2x, which is equal sa 0. Okay, so, again, simplify natin siya further, no? So, pag simplify natin siya further, so, parehas naman sila may e raised to x. Okay, so, multiply ko lang din to, ha? So, this is just negative 2x cubed minus 2x y squared. Okay, then naka-multiply sa e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So again, minultiply ko lang negative 2x. Then this is just plus 2x tapos e raised to negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. Okay, so ayan ba yung una natin na value? So, chine-check ko lang kung ano yung magiging value natin dyan actually. Okay, so again, computing ko lang yung value. Ano ba yung pwede kong cancelin? Okay, so ayun nga, no? So, pag kinumpute ko to, pa-factor out ko yung e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Cancel yon. So, pag pinactor out, divide ko lang. So, maka-cancel siya. So, literal, matitira lang dito is just negative 2x squared minus 2xy squared plus 2x is equal to 0. Again, dinivide ko both side by dyan para makancel. Then, divide natin ulit by negative 2x lahat ng equation. Again, divide natin by negative 2x yung buong equation. This is just positive x na lang to minus negative 2x so plus y squared. Then, negative 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so ito yung isang equation na na-form natin. Okay, so again, ang partial derivative natin is simply ito. Ito yung partial derivative na susundin natin. Mamaya. Okay, so check natin sa node. This is the partial with respect sa y ng x squared y squared e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, is equal to 0. Okay, so this is just equal. So, siyempre, Siyempre, same order yung mangyayari. So, this is just x squared plus y squared. Then, siyempre, negative 2y naman to. This is just negative 2y e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, then plus e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Then, derivative nito is just 2y is equal to 0. Okay, so similar manner, ganun mangyari, multiply ko naman negative 2y dito. So, this is just negative 2x squared y minus 2y cubed. Then, e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Then, plus 2y e raised to negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. So, again, gagawa tayo ng way para makapag-solve tayo ng value na x dyan. Okay, so next is, siyempre, divide natin both sides. So, this is just negative 2x squared y minus 2y cubed plus 2y is equal to 0. Then, divide natin both sides by negative 2y. So, negative 2y. So, this is just x squared plus y. Tama? Then, minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so may dalawa tayong value. Okay, so paano ba natin i-compute tong dalawa? No, so una, we have okay, no, so po una, so kailan ba siya magiging 0? Ano value ba ng x and y siya magiging 0? So, kailangan natin kumuha kasi ng point eh. Okay, so check ko lang din Okay, so again, medyo may ano ko So, huwag niyo pansinin to. So, mula dito, wala akong gagawin dyan. So, disregarded na tong mga part na to. Again, di-disregard na natin yung part na yan. Okay, so from there, ano gagawin ni sir? Magpa-factor out lang ako ng 2x. 2x, 2x. So, pa-factor out ko yung 2x. So, pinactor out ko yung 2x. May matitira naman sa loob na negative x squared plus y squared. So, again, pinactor ko yung 2x, pinactor ko yung 2x. So, assuming inuna ko to. So, pinactor ko yung 2x. So, again, pinactor ko yung 2x. May matitira ditong 1 minus, ito naman, x squared plus y squared. Okay, then, nakapactor out naman si negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. So, ito yung una. Ayan ang ginawa ko, pinactor ko yung 2x saka e raised to negative x. So, nasa kabila yung e raised to negative x squared plus y squared, nandito yung 2x para dito. Okay, tandaan yan. Tapos ngayon, kaya nagkaroon ng 1, so 1 dito, minus, may negative dito ng x squared plus y squared. So, ganyan ko pinactor siya. Okay, para naman dito sa kabila, ganoon din, similar manner din siya. So, factor out ko naman si 2y. So, susundin ko na lang yung ginawa ni book. So, this is just 2y, then 1 minus x squared plus y squared. Then, e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, so this is just equals sa 0. So, dalawa siya. Okay, so ngayon, ang magiging critical points niya is something na, pansinin nyo ito pag nilet ko na 0, 0, kanya 0, 0, 0, kung 0 to, dito pa lang kung 0 to, automatic, yung buo equation. So, again, kunyari, dinivide ko to, tinanggal ko to, kunyari, dinivide ko siya both side ba ganyan. So, pag dinivide ko siya, automatic, ang una niya makukuha is, o kunyari, 0, 0, ang magiging sagot is, kunyari, dinivide ko to, kunyari, dinivide ko yun ng ganyan. Ang matitira, 2x minus 2x times 1 minus x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. 0, 0, yung unang value niya. Okay, so, yung unang point is 0, 0. So, for point P1, this is 0, 0. Okay, pangalawa, what if hindi ganun yung ginawa natin? Again, what if hindi naman ganun yung ginawa natin? Yung pangalawang point niya, di ba, ito yung P2. Yung isang point niya o yung ibang point na naman niya is something na yung unit circle kasi tingnan mo 1 minus x squared plus y squared. So, kung dinivide ko to by dinivide ko dyan. So, again yung unang process is dinivide ko lang siya. So, unang process, dinivide ko lang siya. So, this is just 2x minus 1 minus x squared plus y squared. Then, e raised to negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. So, dinivide ko lang tong part na to, inumit ko siya. So, unang point makukuha dyan is 0, 0. Kasi basically, pag 0 si x, 0 si y, automatic 0, 0 siya. So, unang point is 0, 0. Ayun yung para sa kanya. Okay, pangalawang point ko naman is what if i-divide ko lang siya dito sa buong ito. Kunyari 2x minus 1 minus x squared plus y squared. Divide ko siya, ano matitira? Ang matitira lang is e raised to negative x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. Okay, or sorry, mali ako ng dinivide. Mali akong dinivide. Next ko, di ba, ito una kong dinivide. Pangalawa, what if dinivide ko kasama si 2x? Kunyari, dinivide ko siya kasama to, tapos kasama to. So, pag dinivide ko, ano matitira? This is just 1 minus x squared plus y squared is equal to 0. Okay, in which this is just x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So, pag in-arrange ko. So, meaning, dalawa yung klase yung point. Ang unang point is 0, 0, tapos yung pangalawang point is all the points on the circle, unit circle. Okay, so again, ang unang points is yung ito, yung P1 natin 0, 0, tapos yung all other points is yung sa unit circle. Okay, nasa unit circle. Okay, so similar approach dito. Kung ganun din gagawin ko. So 0, 0, so tinanggal ko to. So makukuha ko ni 0, 0, tapos si unit circle base dito. So again, ito yung mga points natin. Una, 0, 0, tas unit circle. So, dalawa yung pagbabasihan natin. All the points above unit circle. Ngayon, ito yung magiging tanong. So, parang yung equation natin is something na, siya ay something na pabilog. So, parang may unit circle siya. Okay, so may unit circle, tas may point sa center, tapos yung all the points according sa unit circle na yan. Okay, so, yun yung dalawang points na. So, marami yung points na isa actually. Lahat ng points between sa unit circle, napakarami nun. Tas ito yung isa, 0, 0, o yung origin natin. Okay, so meaning, syempre, ito check natin, yung P1. Okay, so for P1, so check natin yung P1, pero syempre, before that, i-compute muna natin, or sorry, na pasko na lagi yung aking ginagawa. So, compute muna natin yung second derivative niya with respect sa F. So, second derivative niya with respect sa F. So, dito ko lalagay. So, the second derivative with respect sa F. So, the second derivative with respect sa x squared nung f. Okay, it's just equal sa first, it's just equal sa anong gagawin natin, no? Is second derivative natin ito. So, ano ba yung sa second derivative natin? Ano ba maganda second derivative? Actually, ito na siya, no? Ito yung partial derivative natin. So, pag second derivative natin siya, actually, siya ay something na product rule, no? So, product rule na tatlo, actually. Medyo mahirap, no? Pero check na rin natin. Okay, so since product rule siya na tatlo, medyo mahirapan ko yung sarili ko about dyan. Pero assuming kinumpit ko na kasi medyo mahaba, no? Assuming kinumpit ko na lang base dito. So base sa book, ang sabi niya, ang magiging point niya is something na ganito. So pag the second partial derivative, this is 2 times 1 minus x squared plus y squared. Okay, so kung baka ito yung una ko inuna. So ito yung una ko dinifferentiate. So derivative ko to. Tapos minus 2x squared minus 2y squared. Okay, times 1 minus x squared plus y squared. Okay, then parenthesis. Then ito ay e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So, verify nyo na lang din bakit naging ganyan. Pero actually, alam ko, differentiate nyo lang yan eh. So, parang yung UBW. So, derivative na UBW is UBDW, UWUDB, then BW du. Okay, so ganun yung parang derivative niya. So, ginawa na lang is pinactor out yung e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. So, again, tatlo yan eh. BW. So, kunin mo yung derivative ng tatlong yun. Okay, so sulat ko na lang kasi medyo matatagalan na tayo. Medyo mahaba. So, next, partial derivative with respect sa y. So, this is just equal sa 2 multiplied by 1 minus x squared plus y squared minus 2y squared. Una daw. Minus 2. So, ito x squared lang din pala to. Sorry. X squared lang din to. So, ito ay minus 2y squared na nakakabit sa 1 minus x squared plus y squared. So, factor, then factor dyan. Then, this is just e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, so again, ganun lang din. So, tatlong derivative. So, product rule ng pang tatlong function yung ginawa. So, lastly is yung partial derivative niya. So, partial derivative with respect sa y, then with respect sa x. So this is just equal sa negative 4xy. So copy ko na lang, this is just 2 minus x squared plus y squared. Then e raised to negative x squared plus y squared. Okay, so kayo na bahala mag-verify nung computation about dyan. Okay, so again, thank you. So, thank you in advance. Kayo na mag-verify. Again, yung derivative ng u, v, w. So, tatlong function kasi yung kinrate ko. Okay, so now, ano bang gagawin natin? So, for d1, so at 0, 0, at p1 is equal to 0, 0, ano yung d? D is obviously equal sa, anong gagawin? Sa substitute natin dito yung d na 0, 0. So, pag sinubstitute mo yung 0, 0 dyan, so obviously, ano ba yung magiging result? So, kunin ka rin aking calcu. Compute na lang natin siya as if, kumbaga substitute ka na ng 0, 0 dyan, no? So, this is just 2 multiplied by 1 minus 0 square. So, again, compute na natin base dito. So, gawin ko to, no? So, magiging 0 to, 0 to, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So, kung 0 yun, this is 2 times 1, 2. No, para dito, no? 2, 1 minus 0. So, parang magiging result, this is just 2, 1 minus 0, minus 0, minus 0. So, kahit multiply ko dyan, 0 pa rin yun. Then, this is just e raised to 0, that is 1. Tama, no? Kasi, 2x squared times 0, 2, 0 squared, that's 0. Multiply ko dito, 0 pa rin yan kahit may 1 dyan sa loob. So, kaya 0 lang din yan. Tapos, minus 1, e raised to 0 is 1. Okay, so this is just 2. So, this is just 2 una. So, this is just equal sa 2, which is greater than 0. So, pakiabangan natin yan. So, greater than 0. Next is itong part na to, ganoon din yata. So, this is just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to. Then, ito ay 0 sa part na to. Okay, so this is just equal lang sa 2 times 1 minus 0, minus 0. Okay, times 1. Okay, which is equal lang sa 2. So, this is just also 2. Okay, minus. Ang result dito, this is a 0. Kung 0 to, automatic 0 na lahat yan. Tama? Again, kung 0 to, 0x and y, 0 na to automatic. So, dito kasi may 1 kaya nawalan. So, this is just 0 square. So, this is just equal sa 4, which is greater than 0. So, kung napansin mo, since d is greater than 0, then yung second partial derivative niya with respect sa x is equal to 0, is greater than 0. Therefore, this is a local minimum. So, 0, 0 is a local minimum. Okay, so ayan yung ating function dyan. Okay, so now, para naman sa unit circle, ano mangyari pag unit circle? So, all the points of unit circle. So, however, x and y in a unit circle, x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So, ano mangyayari pag sa unit circle yung gagamitin natin? Ano yung magiging value natin? So, yung point na x, y. No? So, check ko na lang ano ba mangyayari pag yun yung ginamit natin? Yun. Okay. So, ang pangalawa is x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So, napansin mo, ba may x squared plus y squared. Tapos may, ito rin, x squared plus y squared. Tapos x squared plus y squared. So, napansin mo para dito. So, para sa d, natin, sa pangalawa, para si x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Okay, para sa d natin una is yung second partial order derivative niya with respect sa x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So, kumbaga, lahat ng x squared plus y squared papalitan natin ng 1. Pati dito, papalitan ng 1. Pati ito, papalitan ng 1. Okay, so, dito naman, syempre, di natin alam kung ano ipapalit. Okay, so, obviously, ito ay 1. So, palitan ko lang So, this is just una. This is 2 times 1 minus 1. Yan. So, minus 2x squared minus 2x squared then times 1 minus 1. Okay, then ito ay e raised to negative 1 kasi x squared yan. So again, ito yung para sa una. Sinasubstitute ko yung x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Okay, ito yung para sa una pa lang. Next is yung para sa mumultiply natin dyan. Ano yung mumultiply? Ito yung sa pangalawa. So ganun din, similar case din siya. So similar approach. So this is just multiplied by 2 times 1 minus 1. So dito sa 1 minus 2y. Minus 2y squared. Minus 2y squared. Minus 1 minus 1. Tapos e raised to negative 1. Tama? So, this is just ganyan. Then, minus, lastly, ito papalitan natin ng 1. So, this is just negative 4xy, then 2 minus 1, then e raised sa negative 1, tapos naka-raise sa 2, tapos minus. Okay, so again, sinubstitute ko lang second partial order, yung x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. So, lahat ng x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. Lahat ng x squared plus y squared, pinalitan ko ng 1. Okay, so in-apply ko dyan. So, this is just equal sa, so obviously 0, 0 to, so this is a negative 4x, so this is negative 4x squared, e raised to negative 1. Okay, para dito. Multiplied by dito, this is just 4y squared, no? 0 to, 0, negative 2y squared times 2, this is negative 4y squared e raised to negative 1. Okay, then minus or plus, actually this is plus, so this is plus, so this is plus 4xy e raised to negative 1, tapos naka-raise sa 2. Ay, okay, sorry, dapat minus. Pinasok ko yung negative, brother. Mali. Pinasok ko kasi negative. Okay, so gagawin ko lang una is erase ko muna siya sa 2. So this is just negative 16. So this is just negative 16 x squared, y squared. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So e raised to negative 1. Raised sa 2 is e raised sa negative 2. So ayan yan. So again, erase ko muna sa 2. So again, multiply ko itong dalawa. This is just positive 16. So this is just positive 16 x squared, y squared, then e raised sa negative 2. Then minus nito. So this is just plus na lang to rather. So this is just plus. So this is just minus 16 x squared, y squared, e raised sa negative 2. This is just equal sa 0. So therefore, d is equal to 0. So ano ba sabi pag d is equal to 0? So if d is equal to 0, then the test is failed. Okay, so therefore the test is failed. So thus the test fail. The test fails para dito. Okay, kasi nga tama naman, magpe-fail talaga siya kasi imagine mo, nirepresent natin sa x squared plus y squared into 1. So lahat ng point niya dun sa ating dito. So nangyari, test fail siya dito. So meaning, meron lang siyang local minimum at 0, 0 pero nagte-test fail siya kasi nga yung ating equation is something na malaki o something na siya ay graph na kung saan yung mga points niya is something may unit circle. Nasa loob ng unit circle. So again, ito yung gagawin nyo pag mga ganito yung diskarte. So tandaan. So pasensya, medyo mahirap siya, medyo mahirap intindihin, pero hoping na na-gets mo yung idea kung paano ko siya sinasubstitute or what. So again, that is the maxima and minima dito sa ating calculus 3. Again, thank you for watching. Hoping na marami kang natutunan.